Kevin Strickland took the stand today, testified that he had no part in the 1978 murder. Now, he has been in jail for 43 years. And what's interesting about this is that the investigation by the office of the prosecutor, Jackson County Prosecutor Gene Peters Baker, Gene has said that Kevin Strickland should be freed from prison. Two other men admitted to the killings and said Strickland was not there at the time. There's also a key eyewitness who recanted her original statement and said Strickland was not the shooter. Now, no word on whether when the judge is going to make the decision. Here's what is interesting here, Lee, and that is the Missouri Attorney General, Eric Schmidt, his office keeps arguing that Strickland's conviction should be upheld. And there was a new law that was passed in Missouri that allowed for prosecutors to make direct appeals for people who have been wrongfully convicted. And this is one of the things that is so troubling. Here you have the prosecutor's office, the one that was responsible for the prosecution, saying the man should be free from prison, but you got the Republican Attorney General who is saying, no, upheld. I mean, this is the sort of nonsense that we're seeing, and this brother has been in prison for 43 years.
Man, you know, this is a situation, as it seems like it just happens so too frequently, where, man, just err on the side of, caution, man. Just, if you have all of these things that have stacked up that it appears to be that this gentleman is innocent, let the man go. I mean, just it's time. Let him live out the remainder of his life. When you have including the last witness who was alive, let the man go. And again, I hate to make this a racial thing, but come on, man. We see this too often with brown and black people of color who have been incarcerated and without just due. And we find after 30, 40, 50 years that they're innocent. Man, it's just time to let this brother go.
This is what's so crazy here. On Congo, you have these Republicans who talk about being pro-life, and all they care about are keeping people locked up. And it's shameful. Here you have the prosecutor, where they've gone through a full investigation saying, free this man, yet the state attorney general is fighting it, saying, no, keep him in prison, Even with all of these recanting and all the testimony, they still say, no, keep him locked up. 43 years.
This is just, it's inhumane, man. I want to say it was ridiculous, but it's inhumane. I'm thinking about, before Trump became president, I started to actually see some Republicans who are actually starting to change their stance as it relates to prison reform. They were reading books like The New Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander, and they were kind of focusing on the economic side of things in terms of why we needed it. But there were some changes that started to come. Under Trumpism now, it's back to where we were during the crack epidemic, man. Lock them up, throw away the key, doesn't really matter. I'm thinking of all the things that I accomplished in the 43 years of my life that this man did not have an opportunity to do. And we need to have people call for compassion. We talked about this with Julius Jones as well, man. And so really at the end of the day, the prosecution's there as well. We need to put this pressure on, man, because they are going to keep doing that. They're going to keep locking us up, and for crimes that we did commit, for crimes that we didn't commit, for crimes that we may have committed, they are going to do anything to keep a black face as the face of incarceration. And it really has to stop. And it's only going to stop with continued pressure from us. And so I'm really glad that you're bringing up this story, because you're not going to hear this anywhere else but Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Julianne.
My heart breaks when I see the brother in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair. He's incapable of doing anything. He's been incarcerated for 43 years for something he did not do. But this is the pattern of what has happened to Black people in this country, is that witnesses are coerced. The prosecutors are desperate for a conviction. They will lock anybody up for as long as they can. And the basic, I don't even want to deal with the issue of compassion. It's really an issue of justice. This man not only needs to be released, He needs to be released with a big old paycheck so that he can live the rest of his life in some comfort that he's been denied for the past 43 years. This is repugnant. It is ridiculous, but it is really so-called justice, which is just us in white America. And we'd have to, Obakongo is right at a level, we have to go back and look at the ways that we have been criminalized. So you see a black man, he's a criminal immediately, can be locked up immediately. You've got the recanting, you've got all of this, but you've got a greedy prosecutor who really believes that this man should not have justice. It's wrong. Roland, thank you for lifting it up. But let's just say, just like we lift this one up, Kevin Strickland is one of thousands of black men and women who have been unjustly incarcerated.
Video in just one moment.
Once upon a time, there lived a princess with really long hair who was waiting for a prince to come save her. But really, who has time for that?
Let's go. Feeling myself. I'm feeling
She ordered herself a ladder with Prime one-day delivery, and she was out of there.
I want some hood girls looking back at it and a good girl in my tax bracket.
Now, her hairdressing empire is killing it. And the prince? Well, who cares? Prime changes everything.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punching!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?